The doodads. I know how to play this game.
On occasion.
Really cool.
Oh my God! It's Sunday night. It's Father's Day. It's my day because I'm a father 4 times over. So all about me, people. All about me.
The D in DM stands for daddy.
Okay, now you just made it all gross.
You're welcome.
I forgot my beer. Oh, I forgot my beer, Brandon. I forgot my beer.
Don't worry.
Hey, show everybody your mug. This pirate mug. I love it.
Oh man, the handle's real cool.
It's a spine.
Callista said the same thing.
Yeah, Callista goes, "Ooh, the spine," and she grabs it. I mean, it's her professional opinion that it's cool. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining us for episode 5 of the Debtors Gambit tonight. If you haven't got caught up, everything you need is down below in regards to watching the previous episodes. Also, everything you need to know about us, our Discord, and what we do, and what our focus is here at the TTRPG Academy. I do have a new show starting at the end of June. We have shows almost every night with the exception of Saturday. That seems to be our one day off that we take. I actually do 2 games on Saturday. They're just private games. But hey, everything you need to know about us, our Discord link. We are not giving away dice tonight. We will, however, be doing a week-long giveaway of dice at the end of the month to celebrate the end of Pride Month. We will also be, we're also in the process of giving away digital redeemable keys for D&D Beyond for our Twitch followership to hit 250. So if you haven't followed us yet, please do. If you can afford Jeff Bezos $4.99 per month, please subscribe. We could always use a little extra help to keep us going here at TTRPG Academy. Other than that, Shannon, what you got going on these days?
Oh, too much. Way too much. It's the correct answer to that. Umbilico del Diablo is one of those things, and that is a Mage the Ascension 5th edition podcast. It is a homebrew with some not World of Darkness, Mage rules combined with Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition rules, mushed together with a sanity system, like a little cherry on top, because it's such a treat for us. That follows 5 heroes and their journeys through a very morally gray world in a dusty little desert town. Though we did take a side trip to Reno, and that turned out great.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get caught up. I want to say I'm on episode 15, but I know you have different naming for them. So
yep.
I think I'm on episode 15 at this point. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer. Yeah.
Maybe by the time you catch up, I will be able to put up the next episode. Anyway, you can find that basically anywhere you can find podcasts.
And with that, Cesare, what do you got going on?
Hi, I'm Cesare. I'm trying to adjust my camera while you're trying to scale and readjust me at the same time, and it's making for a really comedic thing as I watch myself back on Twitch in my monitor up to the side here. Because I'm like, no, I thought I just adjusted that, and then I looked down and I was like, oh no, it's moving. Now he's doing that at the. That's when you have two OCDs combating each other.
I know.
My name is Cesare.
I'm a horrible person.
I'm like, I'm trying to get myself a little bit lower, and he's like stretching and zooming in. I'm like, oh Lord.
I am the puppet master. I am the
It's
puppet
great.
master.
As far as stuff that I'm doing on the interwebs, I have a podcast / video production as well. That's in the D&D world. It's called the General Adventuring Company, and we release our videos on Tuesdays. And it's a lot of fun. I play a Dragonborn Ranger Rogue multiclass because it is it's probably just really fitting my personality. But yeah, it's a really dope time. We chop it up, so we do produce it a bit, and yeah, you could see that. The information is down below in our panels. I'm not sure. I think it's panels.
Yep.
On Twitch. I don't know the lingo. But yeah, our social media is at TGAC for the General Adventuring Company, and then POD for like podcast at TGAC Pod on Instagram and Twitter, as well as YouTube. You can check out the General Adventuring Company. So,
Now, I am also building you a panel
Finger
for the EMP Studios. Tell us about what your profession
Ooh.
is. Yeah.
I make content for and with other people. I actually don't do as much myself, except for these awesome games of D&D. Yeah, I help people, brands, businesses, create the content that they need to help them with whatever their goals are. If it's marketing, if it's branding, and yeah, travel around a lot. I'm converting a school bus so I can have a mobile production studio. And
recently, your project last weekend brought you out to the Hemet studio, and we got my soundboard hooked up. We tested.
Oh, it was so fun.
We tested a couple of the microphones. We did some recordings. We did some sound testing. You helped fix my lighting.
I got a massage. Oh.
Yes. Callista fixed you temporarily.
Best time I've ever had in Hemet. That's just because I haven't been to Hemet very often. Both a good Hemet.
Both a benefit and a curse at the same time. Vince, do you have anything going on? Are you ever going to get back into a game of storytelling? Too traumatic? Too traumatic for Jin?
I'm gonna be buying a new motorcycle pretty soon, so I'm probably gonna reserve those days for riding.
See, now the next time we see Vince, the very first time he rides his motorcycle, his eyes will be crossed and there'll be a big set of steel staples down the front of his face.
First time. I've been riding since I was 18.
Oh, so what, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah.
And as always, we have Brandon, who makes rockets fly, and I believe he's the original signer of the petition to not let Jeff Bezos back down to planet Earth, if I recall, but I could be wrong.
Competition.
Well, welcome everybody to Debtors Gambit. Let's go ahead and recap, because some interesting things had happened previously. The team had been delivered to the island. They had braved the interesting flora and fauna that seemed to litter the very geographic nature of the island, causing a great deal of challenges. Once they had reached what they thought was the location that was intended for them, after doing some investigation and encountering glyphs of warding, they entered the initial burial cairn of Copper Joe. Once inside of this cairn, they discovered a series of both riddles, traps, and preventative measures that are clearly designed to keep people out of Copper Joe's tomb. And where we last left them off, they had made their way down into a large water chamber that seemed to have both a dragon's skull with a chain, a ship floating out in the bay. The team figured out a interesting way to cross the surface of the bay to reach the ship, as it was filled with vast undead creatures that would attempt to pull you under. But Jin, using a very creative way of creating ice surfaces, managed to get everybody, including himself, out to the ship. The ship itself seemed to be from a throwback of time, as well as, well, once reaching the ship, the water and the ambient air temperature was quite cold. The ship itself was almost frozen in time, as if to be in a condition of when it was originally placed here. They had discovered a center hold to the ship that seemed to just drop down into a vast nothingness, as a slight pulsing arcanic wave was kind of just down there pulsing, pulse out, pulse down. And it's with this that Gatharn tied a rope around his waist, tied a rope around a beam that was leaning near the opening of the hold, and leapt in to the space. And that's where we last left off. For Jin, Medi, and Omni, you watch as a half-naked, half-orcish gnome just free falls. And you're watching the rope uncoil itself to the full 50-foot length before it goes taut.
Free balling and free falling.
So disturbing. So disturbing.
How's it going down there?
No
Gatharn,
response.
can you hear us?
No response, and Gatharn, you can't hear anybody. Hmm.
Well, what do I see?
Thoughts?
Give me perception.
That is a 19.
Okay. As you are... It's weird. The rope is slack and kind of coiling around you. You're free. You're almost like in a zero gravity environment. The energy is pulsing up from below, and you could see like a sphere of like a globule of energy that's kind of like pulsing. You're kind of zero gravity floating. You're watching as the rope is coiling and twisting around. You could see forms out on the very edge and peripheral of your vision, but you're not really sure what those forms are. Looking down, looking up, you can see a very small light above you. It's very gray and faded. Maybe it's where you came from. You're not entirely sure. You don't hear any of your friends. You don't hear any other voices, with the one exception. Well, it seems we have a visitor.
Hot
For
night,
the-
Joe?
That's what they call me from time to well, I guess technically that's what they used to call me.
So where we at, yo?
I don't know. Where are we at?
For those of you up top, the rope is tight. It is taut. You do, looking down into the hold, you no longer see Gatharn. You can still see the pulsing energy like orb near the bottom, but other than that.
Oh, do we follow him down, or do we want to start pulling him up?
I think we should probably try and pull him up, maybe. Maybe we pull on the rope a little bit. It's taut. It's
Give me a strength check.
this should go great.
Speaking of, I'm going to grab my dice.
I was like, oh yeah. Haha. Dice rolls. This is great. Strength check.
Yep.
How's about a 5?
It's like a steel cable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's really dense weight, you know? Like, he's not dense, but would you like to help, please? Both of you?
You can do it,
Alright.
Captain. I believe in you.
Roll nice and grab the rope.
Go ahead and give me another. Since you're being helped, you guys can now use athletics with advantage since Medi is helping.
Athletics with advantage. That's better. 18.
18. It's rough. You're pulling and like it's almost like the two of you are lifting 1,000 pounds. You're barely able to get it to budge and move. It's almost like something is keeping it in place. Gathar is like trapped down there, or the energy wave is maintaining a kind of hold on him, and there's a bit, and then the two of you, it kind of slips out of your hands and goes back to being taut against the hold.
Whoop, I've never seen this before.
A dilapidated ship with a man that just jumped into the depths of the abyss?
Well, yeah.
So, Joe, what did they do with your body?
Well, it seems that me and you are having a conversation about something.
And you watch as a skull comes floating up from the orb below you. And it turns to face you. Empty eye sockets of energy, its mouth kind of hanging open. The skull itself is a strange design. Give me a nature check really quick.
That would be 18.
18. It's definitely not what you would consider a human skull. The humanoid skull of some kind. You also notice that the lower jaw is not bone. The entirety of the lower jaw is some kind of steel, copper-like plate material. The lower teeth are metallic with like embedded gems and rubies and just other kind of like horrifically kind of like obvious replacement for his lower teeth. The skull just kind of hovers there.
So, come to free me, have you?
Probably.
Well, won't be easy. I've been down here a long time.
How long's a long time?
I
I give him the current year.
Well, I think it's been longer than even I understood it to be.
At least you have your sense of humor.
Well, yeah, you have to when you're trapped in the oblivion of hell, yeah. So you come alone?
Currently, yes.
For those of you up above, you watch as ice begins to form on the rope. And it crackles and kind of swirls. And you're watching as ice is now leaking out and over the hold towards your feet.
Well, there's obviously only two ways to go about this, Captain. Cut the rope and leave Gathar there. Or we dive in after him.
Yeah. We were afraid of
I
that.
know that, yeah. And Jin dives into the portal.
With that, Gathar, Jin appears right next to you in like hyperspeed. Jin, as you're floating there, there's Gathar. Unfortunately, in this zero gravity kind of space, his kilt is now kind of flourishing around him. The rope is kind of
No shame.
the rope is kind of coiling, and there's this floating skull that just seems to be in a conversation with him, and then quickly looks at you and goes, "Arr, more friends, it seems."
Well,
Jin, meet Joe. Joe,
him and
Jin.
I are more like acquaintances. I don't know if he's very comfortable with us being. Are you putting a label too soon on this relationship?
Well,
honestly,
let's be
Mr.
honest.
Bolster?
Let's be honest, new person. You look almost as dead as me.
I thought that was his body odor.
Oh, I
See,
don't.
this is why we're not friends.
So, Medi, I was actually gonna say we should probably cut the rope and go. So, do you want to? What are you thinking?
Don't worry, Katharn. They will come and rescue us any moment now. I saw no hesitancy. The captain said, "Yeah," and he just puffed out his chest with, that semblance of pride that they have. It was amazing.
Jin, give me a deception check, please, because you are lying out your undead asshole.
I don't poop. I don't eat. 25.
Yeah, sounds like he's telling the truth.
Good, because I mean, I'm pretty sure the magic contraption we're looking for is somewhere in here.
In this vast emptiness of space, this void here.
Well, I'm gonna use my
somewhere.
last, not detect magic. My last magic awareness. So anything within 60 feet of me now, I can detect if it's magical.
Give me a con save, please. Like Shannon's
That
eyes.
is
Shannon's like, I know what it
a
means when he says con save.
Yeah, that's a 19.
19. As your magic pulses out, it crashes back into you for 6 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
Ouchie. Don't do the magics.
less of a reason to go down there.
I made
Any time now.
I made the
Any
mistake.
moment.
I made the mistake of mentioning to Cesare it might be another puzzle night, and he immediately went introverted on me.
Well, you're asking me what I thought we should be doing. Mm-hmm. What do you think we should do?
Well, we can't just leave them.
Mm.
But this is definitely probably going to be the place that kills us.
I'm coiling up the rest of the rope.
Definitely, probably, most likely. Possibly, I'm not sure on the spectrum where it falls.
Mm.
At some point, Gatharn, you find the end of the rope.
Yep, see, they found it too.
Wait,
that-
like the end of the rope that was supposed to be tied up to the top?
Mm-hmm. Rope's still there from your perspective, Omni.
For us, it's still there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still there, frozen. The ice is gradually leaking out of the hold.
I'm just waiting for you to make a decision.
I've crossed through the event horizon. Jin.
Yeah, is Gatharn doing anything as he reaches the end of his rope? Like, is he splicing through the other side?
No, he's just coiling up the rope because it's kind of just free floating around him. So he's kind of coiling it up.
I did already mention freaking don't do the magics because it hurts.
You watch as clearly Gatharn did something, Jin. There's a small trickle of blood coming from his nose, and he's clearly in some kind of internal pain.
It is a little dry in here, Gatharn. It's okay. You get a handkerchief. You clean yourself up. Pal. We're not friends.
Looking around above where this void in rope are now dropping in, is there anything that we might notice? That
Give me a perception check. And Medi, you can give me one too, because the ice is already coming out of the hold. So things are changing around you.
So Joe, where do you chill at usually? But
19.
19?
6.
6. Medi, you're just enamored with the fact that these two people have jumped in. You're kind of just focused on the hold. Omni,
Yeah,
you're
I'm just sitting down with my feet like free floating.
Omni, you're kind of looking to your right and your left, and you're beginning to notice that the air in the entire submerged kind of or in this cavern, this massive cavern that you're in, is beginning to frost and form. You also kind of could see that the bay water is beginning to freeze over as you watch one skeleton kind of pull itself out of the water onto the surface of the frozen bay and begins to walk. It's kind of limping. Its armament's kind of dragging behind it. Then you watch as another one, then another one, then another one. Arms and hands, bony protrusions coming up through the bay water.
Well, here we go. And I will grab the rope and do like the fireman slide down it as if it were a fireman pole. But as I'm going down, turn and face Medi and say, I know we have some things to try and figure out with if we get out of this, what's kind of happen next. But yeah, in case we're not, it's been good sailing with you. And then just go down.
Like I said, Gatharn, any moment now, the captain, he's gonna come, he's gonna rescue us. He's gonna come, rescue us.
And just like that,
He's
as
gonna
you
come,
grab onto the rope, Omni,
and rescue us.
the ice crystallizes around your fingers. For Jin and Gatharn, Omni just zap right in front of you. The three of you are now floating with this skull looking between the three of you.
Looks like we have another friend.
That I agree with.
I didn't actually
He is my
expect
friend.
this one. They seemed smarter than me. I was wrong.
Yes.
I was expecting him actually.
Are there any more
Well,
coming? Because the more, the merrier.
Oh, this is troublesome. Oh yeah, this is context clues. I think this is Betty, Captain.
You're a captain too.
Why?
Oh, this is Joe.
Joe Mama.
Copper
Hi,
Joe, Copper Jaw,
hi, Joe.
Copper Joe, get it? But
You keep
Copper
doing
Joe,
that,
the
but
Copper Jaw.
I don't know what that means. Is that a new language?
Yes. It's Orcish Goblin. Gnome-ish? Gnomish Orcish? Norkish? It's Norkish.
I just thought you were a green halfling.
At least he didn't call you a goblin.
Oh, that's a good point. He does look more like a goblin. Yeah. I like you, Jen. I mean, you're mostly dead. You sure you don't want to just join me?
I'm dead people. Can dead people do this? And then Jin attempts to do a little jig in place.
I mean, it's awkward
And
because
the
you're like in zero, zero gravity. And you, actually give me acrobatics. Let's see if you can kind of maintain your kind of like vertical nature versus the horizontal drop and pull that's going on.
19.
Floating upside down.
19, yeah.
Oh,
First,
really?
you kind of tip one way, tip another way, but you manage to control, and you're doing like a pirate jig. And then Copper Joe,
Yeah, I can't do that anymore, but that's a good point.
And I use prestidigitation to shoot off like little firework off of my fingertips.
Where was the direction that Copper Joe popped up from?
directly from below where that glowing kind of arcane-like orb is.
I'm going to swim towards it.
Okay, you kind of pivot yourself. Give me acrobatics. Let's see how well you can manage the space.
I think that's a 16.
16.
Yeah, 16.
It's awkward. It's almost like you're swimming through... You're clearly swimming through nothing, but there's almost like a strange resistance. You move forward a little to be pushed back a little, forward a little to be pushed back a little. But for Jin and Omni, it looks like Gatharn's making progress towards the glowing point behind him, or down below him. Medi, you hear some crackling noises and some chittering noises as you see the first set of arms begin to pull themselves up and over the side rail of the ship. First a couple, then a couple more. Feet getting hauled over, bony protruded legs just clacking onto the surface of the deck. The ice is now completely spread from the hold to the very edge of the ship and down. The air around you is coalescing in a very kind of like cold sensation. You could clearly see your breath kind of puffing. Looking down, you don't see the three of them. The rope is still taut. There's chunks of ice now missing from the rope where Omni had grabbed onto, and they slid down.
So Maddie just stands there for a second, short-circuiting after what Omni said, because people don't say complimentary things about my presence. That's not a thing that exists. And then I'm going to look around, because either the thing that we're looking for is definitely in there and they'll go get it and get back, or the thing that we're looking for is not actually in there. They're all dead and we're not going to get the thing that we're looking for. So I'm going to look around for it, not in the hole, just in case.
Yeah, fair enough. It'll take you a little bit more time, but because you're being more specific, give me an investigation check.
Uh, 17.
17. The surface of the ship is... There's no obvious sign of anything else here other than what makes up the ship. But there is something about the center mast that draws your attention. You look at it briefly, and you realize it seems to be the only thing that is not affected by the frozen kind of immolation that's kind of like coming out of the hold. The mast itself seems to be made up of almost like a steel and copper and wrapped with cordage and other strange things that you don't recognize. At the very top, you can see a flagpole with no flag on it, but it's strange. It seems altered, affected. It seems like it's something different. Hey, Chav, sorry, no dice tonight. We are going to be doing dice giveaways for the end of June. But don't forget, hop over into our Discord. We posted new dice for the giveaway this week. And we lost Jin, I believe. He was being latent. Maddie, you're now Jin. But other than that, I mean...
don't know.
Other than the strange kind of the strange manufacture of the main mast, it seems very different from the rest of the ship. Other than that, nothing else kind of piques your interest.
Okay, I reach out and just put a hand on it to see if it like feels warm or anything.
It feels like an ambient temperature, not warm, not hot, or not even cold. Just kind of like it feels like a normal temperate surface, and you can even see the air kind of coalescing around it.
Okay, would there be a way to like follow this down to the bottom?
From the hold, maybe. And there only seems to be that one hold entrance. To go down below, normally you would find the continuation of the mast until it hits a certain point within the center of the ship. But unfortunately, the only way down would be the main hold that you can see.
Okay, so the main hole that I can see, and that just appears to be a hole into darkness that they've jumped down.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like normally there would be stairs going downward, but you can see where the very first stair is kind of like jagged and broken off. You can see where there's hinges where the whole doors used to be. And now it's just a frozen, rigid surface with ice flowing outwards. And you're watching as these skeletal forms are now gradually crawling and creeping towards both the opening and where you are. There's at least a couple dozen of these skeletons at this point.
I'll start taking pop shots with Eldritch Blast as they like creep up, just to try to keep them away.
Fair enough. Give me a couple tack rolls.
One of them is a natural 18. The other two are so laughably low it probably doesn't matter, but I will check
Oh, he's
just
coming
in
back.
case.
Is he?
Yep, he's back.
Back.
All right.
One of them is an 11, one of them is a 14, and the other one is a 26.
Gotcha. There he is.
Oh.
He is back. Yeah, you easily pat pat. The first one you hit just like explodes and comes apart. The bones rattle on the ice. The second one you hit, it explodes and comes apart and rattles on the ice. You watch as 4 or 5 more begin to pull themselves over. And then you're looking out beyond the edge of the railing. You can see just dozens and dozens of them like breaking through the surface of the ice, coming up and over.
Yeah, I'll just keep doing some crowd control to, at this point, both keep myself alive and watch their backs while I look at this mast.
Okay. Fair enough. For the rest of you, you watch as Gatharn kind of disappears from your view as he is now nearing the globule of energy down below.
So, Copper Joe, what keeps you here?
Well, it seems I made bad choices in my former life.
I believe that. But what's actually holding you here?
Not really sure. I'd prefer to move on, to be honest with you, but, well, it would seem that I was entombed here, warded with guardians, and other than that, I don't know much else. I don't get much further out beyond this point. I mean, I do like it when the living come. It's fun to watch them try, but usually they just die.
Watch them try what?
Oh, get through the riddles you got through, and the traps, and the doors, and, well,
Oh,
there's always the final puzzle there is.
is that here? Is that now? Are you the final puzzle?
Sort of.
Okay.
You guys watch as the skull looks down to where Gatharn has disappeared. Gatharn, you get pulled into this energy source. You're still in this zero gravity environment, but things are kind of lit up around you. You can see 4 skulls of different variety now floating around you.
What do the skulls look like?
Give me a perception check.
22.
22. One looks human. Another one distinctly goblin. Another one distinctly orc, which you're familiar with. And then another one you're not quite familiar with. Its form, its shape is very strange looking.
Is there any writing or anything like that around?
Just zero gravity, empty space. This spot is just a bit more glowy from the arcane-like globule that's floating right at your feet.
And you say Copper Joe didn't have an entirely human-like head, right? It was
Correct.
humanoid?
It's humanoid for sure.
Does it look like any of these 4 skulls match up with whatever species he might have been?
No, your passive is high enough to pick up on that. So he's even different from these 4.
I'm going to float to the one that I have no idea what the fuck it is.
Okay, you've kind of you float kind of over to it. Jin's disappeared on me. Omni, what are you doing?
I was gonna continue talking to Copper Joe, seeing if he's like the links of the artifact or that we're trying to get.
Okay.
So yeah, just trying to get more info from him. My friends and I, we are here to find something something very powerful. Honestly, we're not even sure
Arr.
what exactly it is, but we sense the most amount of magic coming from here, from you. Are you guarding something?
I don't believe I'm guarding something. I think when I was entombed here, it was entombed with me. Once again, I'm not even really sure why I'm between worlds. I don't really actually want to be here.
What do you want?
I want to move on.
Oh, Captain, if I may just shimmy my way into this conversation.
Oh, nice of you to join us, Jen.
I went over to the dark space over there. Don't go over there. There's yellow snow.
Good
So,
advice.
If I
You
may,
watch
Captain.
little droplets begin to float.
It actually propelled him backwards like a
Yeah.
rocket.
It seems like we may be able to set you free if you were to provide to us some crucial information, like where is your flag, Captain?
Don't know where my flag is, but
I
solve
backhand
the
Give me a attack roll.
him with my strength.
You
Unarmed.
backhand the,
Unarmed attack. Yeah.
Is it a
15.
giant floating skull or is it like a normal size?
Like it's big for its size, right? Because it's humanoid. You backhand it. Give me a con save, please, and then it'll take the unarmed damage that you do to it.
Probably not gonna save. 13.
13. You take 12 points of cold damage when you smack it. You watch as his fingers crystallize and freeze and curl almost like in a rheumatoid kind of way. Maddie, give me 2 attack rolls, please.
Wait, what?
You watch as the skull spins and
yeah, hit me that way about 4 more times and you could join me.
2 dirty 20s.
nice. You watch as a pair kind of blast off. You watch as a third, and you watch as an additional 5 or 6 begin to crawl over the railing. And they're now mobbing and forming around the hold and coming around you. There's at least 3 dozen that have formed up at this point. So, Gatharn, as you're staring at these skulls, and then you drift over to the one that looks strange, definitely has angular features that definitely are not human at all. It's high, bony cheekbones, a very long, pointy jaw, kind of like a pinpointed and then flat top of its head. This one seems very out of place, not anything that you're particularly familiar with.
I'll poke it.
You reach out, give me a con save.
That would be another 19.
19. Your hand pulls back. 6 points of cold damage, half to 3, as you realize to touch it, frigid to touch. For Jin and Omni, conversing with Copper Joe,
So it's clues you want to the puzzle, do you?
There's a puzzle?
Well, there's always a puzzle when there's a curse.
Yes, we were actually just talking about it before you came and smacked him. How's your hand?
Oh, I thought we were gonna play. Oh, it's fine. I thought we were gonna play. Jin hides it behind his back. I thought we were gonna play good cop, bad cop. No. Good pirate, bad pirate. Oh, I mean, good privateer, bad privateer. No?
No, we're just asking him some questions.
I thought we were gonna do cat in the bag.
What?
Broken soldier?
No, what?
Lonely
Why
sailor.
are you making up names for like plans that? Anyways,
Captain, cop. He came up with all these names. Yo.
Well,
we are
now I
just
see
having
why
a
he's
conversation.
now I see why he's dead. He's clearly been cursed as well.
Who's dead? Why does he keep calling me dead?
Well, I
The
mean,
loudest ice cream truck I've ever heard. Like, this guy's got like a serious sound system out there, man. Like,
Like Howard was driving an ice cream truck. Damn.
We're about to get DMCA'd. I don't know if he got the licensing for this or not.
All I know is when I died, my officers were buried with me, and there were 3 of them.
I'm gonna make a lasso with the rope.
Okay. Give me sleight of hand. See how well you can form it. Maddie, give me 2 more attack rolls.
13. Yeah, 13.
Yeah, I mean, you make a basic lasso. Looks like it might hold.
Gonna try
22 and 24.
Okay.
lasso the skull.
Give me strength, or give me athletics or acrobatics for the grapple attempt.
Plus 7, 23. Oh, wait, no. 15 plus 7, 22.
Okay. Seem to lasso it pretty well. The rope goes really taut when you lasso onto the skull, almost as if it's incapable of moving. Omni and Jin, the skull kind of goes, "Arr! It seems that your friend has already started the party without you."
Oh, I'm having a pretty decent conversation, Cap.
Yeah.
Decent conversation.
Yes,
I mean,
but if he tries to
Stop
solve
hitting
the
him.
puzzle now, I'm afraid I've got to go.
Wait, but why?
Well-
you were gonna give us clues.
I was giving you clues.
Yeah.
No, we were just having a pleasant conversation. You know, like how friends do. You know, the 3 of us.
Are
getting
we
along.
friends?
3 guys. Of course we're friends. Why wouldn't we be friends?
Jen,
We're gonna
give
get the
me
thing we want.
give me a persuasion check.
I'm gonna use my last knowledge from the past life to add a d6 to my skill check.
For your past
persuasion?
lives. Yeah, persuasion. Maddie, what'd you get for your 2 attacks?
I was 24 and 26.
Yeah, you blast another 4 of them off the ship. You're keeping the main group away at this point, but the mob is amassing, getting larger, filling up the empty spaces of the ship and crowding in towards you.
Good thing I have an idea that's very dumb and stupid.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Well, you know, there's nothing like...
Apparently, I've got the bar set for dumb and stupid.
Yes. What'd you get,
You
Jen?
mentioned
29.
Okay.
you mentioned that you had 3 officers that died and were buried with you.
Yeah. There was Nocklin, a good gobbo for sure.
Nochlin,
Yes, he was my bosun.
Goblin, Bosun.
Yeah.
Who else?
There was my master of arms. He was a good sort, too.
What was his name?
From the Menagerie Coast. His name was Stuart.
Do it.
I was going to use Dirks.
Dirks. Dirks.
The last one's Bonnie McMurray.
And what was
Roll.
Stuart by chance?
The Master of Arms. Listen to our good friend.
I meant as far as his
Oh,
physicality.
Stuart
What was
was
his?
Stuart was my master of arms. Yes.
He probably had like several arms, you know, because he was the master of them.
He was the master of them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
probably got
your
like 3
third?
pairs.
My third was my first mate.
Oh,
Good,
lifelong
strong.
partners.
Good strong orc went by the name of Blackjaw.
Was his jaw black?
No, he just preferred the name. I don't know why. He was a weird fucker.
Well, that's not very nice.
Are they here with you? Since
Oh, I
you're
think
here?
they might be. I think your friend's about to find this out. Unfortunately, I think he's starting with the wrong skull.
Which
this is the best
skull are you
part, though.
supposed to start with.
Gatharin, give me athletics check, please.
Uh-oh.
18.
18. Skull doesn't budge. And as you pull on the skull, a shadowy form begins to come into existence. And the skull kind of reels back into it as this vaporous like shadows now floating in front of you, its eyes beaming like a purple undead glow. Give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh, thank God. 18.
18. The DC was a 19. You...
Oh, well, then. I rolled a 17. I'm like,
Yeah.
should be good.
Now I need you to roll a D4.
D4, these nuts. 3.
3. You are now 3 years older.
Okay.
You watch as your skin kind of changes and alters. You watch as your form, you feel your muscles and bones kind of like, you feel strangely good, but it's weird. It's a weird sensation. Your hair is now longer, the little hair that you have. You just feel older.
Oh, he looks so distinguished now. He got a little salt and pepper in his beard.
We're not with them.
We're not with him.
No, you're way
he's down.
above. He's down below at the arcade point. It's when you lost
but
your
this is
camera.
Vincent.
This is Vincent talking to Cesare. Is that what
Yeah, that's it. Hey, man. Yeah, he looks
Hey,
so
man.
distinguished.
Hey, man, it's not like Jason could do anything about it. Let's get meta.
I appreciate it.
Hair now.
Yeah, you have hair now and a beard.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the beard.
Yeah, little wisps of gray.
All right.
I'm 25 now.
You were only 22? Man, that was rough.
I mean, half
north.
orc goblins don't live very long.
He's not a goblin.
Yeah, but the gnome part does.
Meta, give me more 2 more attacks, please.
Ready for my dumb idea.
Go for it. So either attack or go with the idea, your choice.
Oh, well, it's both.
Okay.
I would like to run up to the nearest one and cast Green Flame Blade and try to smack him to start spreading fire amongst them.
Is Green Flame Blade radiant?
No, it is fire.
It's fire.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. I believe I need a save, correct?
Mm-mm.
No.
No?
He's automatic.
Doesn't matter anyway, it's a natural one.
Yeah. The green blade actually passes harmlessly through it. It seemed that your force damage shots were definitely impacting with it. But I'd also say you inadvertently come in contact with the skeleton at the same time. So go ahead and give me a con save. Up to now, you've been at range. I love that face.
8.
Yeah. That's a nope.
Yeah, that's a nope face. You take 8 points of cold damage as the back of your hand and part of your arm are now frozen with ice. Jin and Omni, you're still sitting there floating by the skull. The skull is now looking nervously down at the energy.
Joe, you were saying about the proper order in which you should something with the skulls.
Arr, if you know how a crew is formed, then
Well, obviously it's captain. Then the ship. What's after the ship?
well,
Captain?
I'm gonna go make room for your bodies. Good luck. And you watch as the skull twirls
Can
down.
I try to? No, I don't want to touch him. I was gonna hitch a
When you
ride.
say how it's formed, okay.
You watch as the skull twirls. Gatharn, you see Copper Joe now in amongst the different skulls floating. He's looking at you going, "Arr."
Joe?
Yeah, good choice. Good
We should
choice.
probably go down.
Gatharn, give me another con save, please.
Well, I'm not selfish. I always go down. Oh, we're going right now.
Who you think I am, Batman?
I was waiting for Shannon to react to that one.
23.
23. This time you saved. You feel that pulsing energy. It's now permanently connected to you. The skull
I'm
is
gonna
attempting
smack the
to.
skull
Give me an attack roll.
with my axe.
Give me an attack roll.
With his ass.
I'm attacking with my ass. 18 plus 7, 26. Or no, 25.
You smack the skull. You watch as your axe shatters after striking it.
Ooh, party foul.
You bitch.
And the shards are now flowing like around you of the axe.
I'm gonna head down towards where they are.
Okay. Eventually, Omni and Jin kind of join into this kind of now lighted, more lit area of these 4 skulls. The same ones that I described for Gatharn are there. The one that's a Gabo skull, a human skull, and an orc skull. And then he has now somehow lassoed a rope onto a skull that looks, well, maybe it does or doesn't. Jin and Omni, give me nature checks.
Oh, that was a journey.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
Hey, thanks, Chav. I really appreciate that subscription. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're always happy to
gotta-
take that Bezos money.
Yeah. 21?
21. What'd you get, Omni?
18.
18. For you, Omni, it doesn't look familiar, but for you, Jin, staring at it, you've lived interesting lives and you've lived interesting places. There was a carnival that you once visited in one of those previous lives, and you remember seeing a demonic skull. This looks a lot like a demon skull.
Ooh. I nudge over to Ani. I think that's a demon skull.
The big one, the weird looking.
The one that the DM just described to me.
I'll look over to Gatharn and look at all of the shattered pieces of metal that are floating around him. Be like, really?
And
Hit it with
as
an
you're
axe.
looking at him, you're watching as this vaporous thing is beginning to materialize. The skull and the eye sockets and their lights are burrowing very deeply into Gatharn, almost to the point where he can barely pull away from it. Gatharn, give me another con save, please.
That doesn't
gonna
look like it's
rage.
gonna bode well for us.
That is a 26.
26. Once again, resisting the skull that is adding years to your life and attempting to consume you at the same time.
And that's an 11 for my rage.
Oh, yes. Let me pull that up really quick.
Oh wait, that's the bad numbers.
No,
are the bad numbers.
1 and 12 were
1
the...
and 12.
Oh, 1 and 12. 1 and 12.
Yeah.
I thought you said 11
believe
and
me,
12
my
and then 1s
sphincter
and
went
2s.
like, when I saw the 11, I'm like, no! Oh, wait. It's not a 12.
You guys watch as Gatharn is immediately wrapped in like a strange kind of red fiery energy, and it's strange here because in zero gravity it coils around him and shifts and turns and the globules float and then they just explode outward. I need Jin and Omni to make dex saves, please.
In my defense, I still have no idea what all these do.
Oh, nat 1.
18.
Okay. Gatharn, roll 5d6, please.
You motherfucker. You rage
Don't worry, I'll
again.
grab my good dice.
Oh well. Time to try out a new character, guys. Who are you thinking? Cleric?
But don't worry, I got like a 1, a 2, a 3, so that's 6, 10, 14 damage.
Everybody takes 14 fire damage. Gatharn, you take half that because you're in a rage mode, and that initiated your wild magic. As you are now familiar with Fire Bloom.
Ooh, And it's got a sexy.
Whenever you go into a rage and you roll 11 on the wild magic, it initiates Fire Bloom, which is 5d6, 60 feet fire eruption out around you in an uncontrolled state.
I really should start writing these down.
Don't worry, I have them down if you need them.
So it is kind of
Well,
bad.
yeah, right now it's I know 3, 8. I
Anything
think
is
it was
around him.
9 and 11.
You know what you
Medi,
can do is
give
just
me
wild magic?
athletics or acrobatics
they
as
shuffle 'em.
the skeletons are now attempting to grapple and pull you into the water. The flames, as they go out, though, they charge some of the skulls, but the skull that's enraptured with Gatharin, it just kind of harmlessly, and Gatharin, your rage immediately fades after the effect.
Balls.
What do you get, Medi?
13.
13. You're currently grappled. Give me another con save.
Roll 20.
You take 6 points, half the 3 points of cold damage, as the grappled creatures are now attempting to drag you towards the edge of the ship. Gatharin is locked with this skull. The other skull's sitting there floating. Copper Joe, just if he could be seen eating popcorn, he would be right now. Arr, the suspense is killing. Well, that's kind of a wasted term.
So how many skulls are there total with Joe? 5?
There are the 3 skulls, the 4th skull
Four
that's
total.
engaged with Gatharin, and now Copper Joe's. He's kind of floating in amongst them as well.
I reach out for the orcish skull.
Okay. As you reach out for it, the cold numbness goes away. The minute you touch it, you watch as it shadows into an orcish pirate with a very long black beard, an eye that's been removed and replaced with like a wooden eye. You can see long stringy dreadlocks coming off the top of its head, a side kind of cap of a hat kind of tilted strangely, wearing very typical sailor-like attire, brace of pistols and cutlasses on the belt. It floats there for a moment and then smiles at you. Thank you. And,
Oh, that's why they call you Black Joe. Not even a conversation.
and he disappears.
To be free. So,
Oh.
Captain, up to you. Do you feel like a master of arms or a bosun's more important?
Gatharin, give me another con save, please.
I
Oh.
think we have a ticking time before.
I feel like the master of arms is somebody who would find a bosun.
30, 20.
I feel like a bosun would be the one to find a master of arms.
Out of character, I am not sure what the bosun. I thought the bosun was the one who was like the carpenter that was repairing stuff. Is
Give
that
me
not correct?
give me a history check.
No,
I think that-
this is Cesare, not Omni. Omni is very familiar. He's been on ships all the time. He freaking knows this
I think
information.
bosun's
He's a
in charge
first
of the
mate.
Bosun
staff
is
for the
slang
most
for
part.
boat swain.
What?
So bosun.
I don't know what the hell
in
a swain is.
Boat swain. They're in
And
charge of
that
basically doing maintenance to the
means-
boat and stuff like that.
Maintenance. Gotcha. Okay.
I would
Scream
say
wasn't
Omni.
amazing.
I would say Omni would
Can I
recognize.
roll a intelligence or insight? Can I roll an insight check to see if I can figure the riddle out, or for the proper order of
I would say.
what would go first in hiring a crew?
Yeah, I would say that you have put crew manifests together before. A boatswain would definitely be higher up than the master of arms. Really, all the master of arms does is really manage the armory. Hands out the powder, the guns, hands out any ammunition, and is responsible for the safety of the armory. But the bosun is responsible for maintaining the ship and making sure that all those in charge are maintaining the ship. But sergeant of arms and gunner's mates have a special relationship that's separate from the master of arms. So yeah, the bosun probably feels right to you.
Okay. I will go over and approach and touch the bosun skull, which would be the goblin, Knockland.
Okay, you drift over, you reach out, you watch as its form begins to take shape. Bony, like necklaces draping from its neck, piercings, one eye is whited out, a brace of pistols, a long rifle on its back. It just floats there for a minute. Hey, thank you, mate. And he floats off away, leaving just the two skulls.
I'm gonna piss on the demon shadow.
You watch as your droplets of urine float back at you. Give me another con save, please. Medi, give me another athletics or acrobatics, your choice, as you're being dragged over the edge of the ship.
25.
Okay.
Way better. 19.
19. You manage to break the grapple and you begin to crawl away. Give me another con save because now you're crawling through the skeletons to get away from them.
9.
9. You take 12 points of cold damage as the exposed portions of your body are being slammed by these kind of cold, necrotic, like undead creatures. But you're crawling, you're making your way back towards where the mast is. There's now two skulls. The one that has enraptured into Gatharn, that's based on Jin's description, a demonic skull, and then the human skull that's left over.
I go and I touch the human skull.
You drift over from where you were before, and as you touch this human skull, it comes into existence. You watch as a very like debonair, dapper individual comes into existence, wearing very kind of noble attire, flourishing. He goes, "Oh well, not all of us are, stereotypical pirates." And he kind of floats up and away from you. "Oh, and thank you.
In salutes as he's kind of hanging upside
With
down.
that, you watch as the skull that Gatharn has lassoed just peels backward, screams out. I need the three of you to take con saves, please, as it explodes around you.
No. Oh, that's not so.
23.
23, take half damage. Omni?
Yep. That one's gone forever. Did you say con save?
Correct.
Plus 6, 17.
17, you'll take full damage.
I also have a +6 in con, and I also rolled 17.
Yeah, you'll take full damage. Jin and Omni take 18 points of psychic damage. Gatharn take 9 points of psychic damage. Gatharn, you're no longer enraptured as the skull shreds outward, the shadow dissipating. The glow eventually just begins to coalesce around the form of the skull of Copper Joe. You watch as a neck and shoulders and a chest, his body and his legs come into existence as this massive Goliath is now floating there amongst you.
Hey, you found your body.
You watch as its jaw. It's been a long time since felt myself. Festooned,
Ooh.
his midriff from stomach up to the shoulder are just a series of tattoos, but in the very center, a massive kraken-like tattoo kind of pulsing up and around over his shoulders. Wearing very simple leather breech pants, tall boots, 2 pistols at his waist, and his 7-foot form floating there for a moment. I wish I could stay, but 100 years it's been. Thank ye.
Not so bad.
And he begins to float up.
Joe, your flag. Your flag.
And poof, as he floats
Ungrateful
out,
to-
for you, Medi, all the skeletons collapse. Just turn into disembodied, disjointed bones and piles everywhere. And as you reach the mast, looking up, you watch as a flag unfurls. And it's just kind of waving there up in the mast. For the three of you, you feel yourself and you get launched out of the hold and tossed amongst all the bones on the surface of the ship, the deck of the ship. You can see Maddie staring up, and the three of you look up to see a flag has unfurled and is kind of waving there. It's got a skull on it with 2 cutlasses crossed and a cannon upright in it.
Just gonna
Found
start
it.
Were we
walking
supposed to be
up
looking
the
for something
mast
like
and
that?
going to get it.
It was on the riddle. What did you? The tombstone thing, and then you went to sleep. The idol. Here lies
I
Copper
didn't
Joe.
actually read that thing.
Okay. This is why
Goblins
we're only
can't read.
pals.
I got close. I got tired. I went to sleep.
I'll put you to sleep.
Medi, are you doing your little climby thing? You guys
Just walking
watch
up the
as
mast.
you guys watch as Medi is just perfectly standing straight out while walking up this mast.
Oh, great. She hung outside the entire time. We had to solve this incredibly difficult puzzle. Slaved away. The poor captain. And I start dabbing Omni's face with a handkerchief. Broke
No,
a sweat.
I've got
Stop.
3 years of hair growth
Medi,
and beard growth.
keep doing. Thank you. You're doing. great.
Medi, as you get to the base,
Kasarn, what
where
the
the
heck? Why do you have all this hair?
as you get to the base of the
When
pole,
did that happen?
you can see
It
a
looks good on you, to be
cable.
honest.
You can see a cable
Beard's kinda
that's
cute.
intertwined into the flag. You can
could
see the
totally braid
flag
your hair
is
into your
flirt
beard.
is kind of just there, waving.
Poke it.
Like
Yeah,
con
it
safe.
seems like a silken kind of consistency to it. Seems finely made.
Okay, then I start taking it down.
Okay. Give me sleight of hand. Just make sure you do it without falling.
Were those skeletons armed?
No, not particularly. It seemed to be that it's just mostly their bodies, and their main form of attacking Medi was their clawed-like skeletal fingers.
Were they all human?
Give me a nature check. What'd you get there, Medi?
21.
7.
21. You easily disconnect the rope and the cable that is holding it, and it furls down into the pole and it slides off. You fold it up and tuck it into one of your bags, and
I put it around like a cape because I'm kind of freezing for a second as I walk back down.
okay. And walking straight back down comes Medi with a pirate flag for a cape. Gatharn, what'd you get?
7.
7. Hard to tell for sure. I mean, the jumble of bones, it's just a mess. Difficult to know for
Alright.
sure.
I'm looking for a giant leg bone.
Give me an investigation check.
Lemons and limes.
That is
I love to watch
a
lemons and limes.
yeah, 16.
Everybody's dropping dice.
I'd already rolled it. Oh, now it rolls a 19. Well, 16 anyways.
It's raining dice.
It's raining dice.
Hallelujah. It's
Raining dice.
Hallelujah.
So with
16.
16. Yeah, I'll say at some point you find a rather large leg bone, maybe from a Goliath or a very large half orc of some sort, perhaps, or even maybe an Ogren. You pick it up. It's got a good heft to it. It's a little on the brittle side near the fringes, near the main joints, but it looks like it might act as a club.
All right, I'm going to secure the brittle points with rope.
Okay.
I'm
Spend a
just
few
basically
minutes.
wrapping.
Yeah. Give me performance to see how well you do with that. You guys watch as Medi steps off the mast with the pirate flag cape flung over his shoulders.
Oh, great. Now she's wearing it like a trophy. Oh, good job. You solved the riddle, Medi. Found the key.
16.
16.
Did all the
Okay.
hard work. Yeah. There's your
So I rolled a
trophy.
17, and I've got a -1 to my charisma checks.
Looks good on you, Medi.
Oh, yeah, and you got a captain for compliment from the captain. Jin solved the puzzle. Did he get a compliment? No. It's just
Why
get
are
away
you
from my
choosing-
face. Get away from my face.
Did
Amy.
something happen to where you no longer have an inner dialogue, or it's we're standing right here?
Oh, have I been saying this all aloud?
Yeah.
Oh, give me 1 second.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely starting to get warmer.
Oh, that's good.
The ice is beginning to melt.
Is there another place that we can go and investigate on this ship, such as captain's quarters, other places deeper in the belly of the ship that it would go down to underneath storage? whatnot?
Looking at the hold, it now seems to be a normal hold. The vast emptiness is gone. You can see the broken stairwell leading down into the first deck of the ship.
Who's
Shall
got
we?
mending? We can have our own ship. Anybody pick up mending?
Would
So
would
that's
we
a whole
like-
lot of mending.
That's a lot of mending. Yeah.
I'll mend all day and all night, babe.
Do we want to? Do we want to? Since it's getting a little bit warmer, do we want to?
Well, is
short
that rope
rest
still stuck?
here?
Is that rope still tied to the fixture that I secured it to?
Yep, it's still there. It's just a lot shorter than it was. It's only about 6 feet long now.
That means I got 44 feet of rope.
I'm gonna go check out the captain's quarters if anybody needs me.
You guys watch as Jin dips down into the main hold.
Yeah. I'm going to.
Okay, Omni, you make your way down there. Medi, Gatharn, what are you doing?
This is set up like a
Wait,
regular
what?
ship, right?
What's with the hair? I'm confused.
Yeah, me too. There was like this ugly skull. I looked at it. I freaking wrapped a rope around it. There was a shadow. Next thing I know, full on beard, big old hair. I'm not a fan. So I think I'm gonna go with a mohawk.
That's very Gabo to go with a mohawk.
It's very fucko to go with a mohawk.
Jin and Omni, give me perception checks as you make it down onto the first deck. Medi and Gatharn seem to be having a conversation about hair growth and hairstyles.
Well, and then also if this is set up like a regular ship, I'm gonna go to where the quartermaster would set up.
Okay.
19.
19 for Jin
19.
and 19 for Omni.
We're on the same wavelength, buddy.
You make your way over to where the helmsman normally would be, where the wheel would be, and there's a helms station there. Gatharn, as you make your way over there, you do notice a small, although albeit under like some of the bony remnants of what was in here before, but it's getting warm even for you. Looking around, you're watching as all the ice is now melted, and there's faint glows of red above you as you look at this very small compartmental door that you're like, oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. And you kind of pick it open. Jin and Omni, you're on the first deck. This is the common deck. But this deck seems to be both the gunner's deck as well. So maybe it's not nearly as many levels as some of the larger ships might be. Staring off towards the front and the back of the ship, you do see a series of like panels that have kind of like fallen in and out. You can see a series of doors that have splayed out as well. There are broken, rotted crates, barrels, the remnants of like canvas hammocks everywhere, just ratty and old netting. Near the front of the ship, you can see another kind of collapsed inward door with walls and planking collapsed inward as well. You also, looking down and straight, begin to realize there's at least one more level below you, as the stairs, broken and brittle, seem to lead down deeper into the ship.
Cast detect magic.
Okay.
Do I sense anything within a 30-foot radius?
Currently, no, but you can feel free to wander and explore the hold of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Jin, what are you doing?
I go down the stairs.
Okay, you go down to the next hold. Gatharn, you're standing there with that small door that's now open near the helmsman.
I'll do one lap
in there.
around that level and then go down.
Okay. Omni, give me an investigation check really quick while you do that. Gatharn, what are you doing? You go down?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me acrobatics. It's an old rotted ladder that you kind of have to shimmy down to get below it.
Okay, that is a 16.
Okay. You manage, it cracks, but you hold on, make your way down it. Medi, what are you doing with your time up on deck?
So Gatharn just took off.
Yeah, Gatharn took excuse me, I got a frog. Took off towards the helmsman station, and you watch as he disappears below it. Like he opens a small trap door, and he just shimmies into that. You can still kind of hear Jin and Omni rummaging around and investigating down below. It's getting warmer.
I got an 18
Are there
on the
any-
investigation.
Okay.
Are there any areas that are not currently being investigated that I can think of or see?
Give me a perception check.
The captain's quarters.
Omni, as you're drifting near the back of the ship where all the doors have fallen in and some of the planking and walls have kind of rotted and fallen in, there's a slight blip from your magic detection. It's very small, yellow in energy. It's very deep into the rubble and debris that you're now standing next to. Medi, what'd you get?
Natty one.
Yeah, I mean, as far as you know, this looks pretty well covered. However, at one point, you hear a sound. You look over to see this, like, red, yellowish rock just plop onto the surface of the ship. And it's now giving off a strange kind of sulfury smell. And that part of the ship begins to burn. And you watch it burn through.
We're under the lava.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
it being
look
cold
up.
in that room was what was keeping it safe. Now
As
that it's
you-
not cold in there anymore, it's melting.
As you
and
look
falling.
up, there's great striations of yellow and red coursing through the now surface of the chamber that you can see. And as you look up, a globule is falling directly towards you. Give me a deck save, please.
I was really hoping we were going to be able
my
to get
second
this
character's
ship.
face off. I'm gonna be so upset.
I was hoping there wasn't going to be a fucking volcano.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You get out of the way of it, and it's now burning through the top of the ship. For Omni and Jin, you watch as, for you, Omni, you watch somewhere in the middle of the ship, something burns through the deck and makes a clunking noise. Jin, you hear a clunk directly above you. Jin, give me a perception check as you examine the cargo hold.
For the record, I dash in the direction Omni is.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, seeing that, I would give a little, like, a really, I don't want to do it right now, but I would give a really high-pitched whistle and be like, everyone, to my voice.
Okay. You got, all of you can
Gatharn and
easily hear Omni yelling to collect to where he's at. Gatharn, you're now inside this quartermaster's section that's right below the helmsman. This is where, like, a lot of the common goods would normally be. A lot of the inventory to maintain the ship, a lot of the product required to keep the ship either well maintained, delivered it to the cook, or any other type of just regular day-to-day activity. But a little bit of light is peeking through, and with your, I believe you have dark vision, correct?
Yep.
The first thing you notice is you're ankle deep in coins, which is the first strange thing. The second thing you notice is that the interior of this space is steel plated. Stacked everywhere are boxes, chests, coins spilling out, weapons of all sorts. There is...
I try to find myself a new axe.
Give me an investigation check while you do that. Omni...
I found the loot!
You guys hear Gatharn yell out exactly what he just said. Medi, you've reached Omni at this point. You and Omni are standing there. Jin, have you come up yet after hearing Omni?
No, I'm looking around.
You're
the
still
hold.
quickly looking at the cargo hold. As you begin to
Yeah.
shift and look at this cargo hold, there's just mounds and mounds of rotted wood and canvas and crates, barrels. You can see where the barrels have spilled open and just festering like rot is coming out of them. There's many other containers of goods and other things that are here, but they've aged with time from both the cold and everything else. But now that things have begin to get warmer and warmer, and at this point you watch as whatever fell above deck just comes through, and as it comes through, it burns through the cargo hold not far behind you, and as it burns through, you hear like a steam noise. And as you hear that, you now watch as water is burbling up from the fresh hole that it just made.
Oh, that's interesting.
18 on my investigation.
Okay. You find a hammer, a two-handed hammer that has a rather unique head on this hammer. There is a dragonborn face on one side of it, and then there is an eagle's claw reversed on the other side of it. It seems to be made of some kind of fancy, unfamiliar steel. The heft and the haft itself is ivory and pearl encased. The alabaster wood that makes up the handle is almost as hard as metal itself. You heft it. It's unusually light, but it's cool.
Oh, yes.
It's
I take it.
badass. You grab it.
And then I start
Jin
looking
will
for something
join
that's
the
like
others
red
up.
shaped.
Jin, what are you doing?
Joining Omni. and-
You watch as both Omni and Medi are already making their way back up towards the main deck, yelling
Okay,
something
well.
about Gatharn finding the loot.
We weren't going up there just yet.
Oh, no? Okay.
No,
So,
because Gatharn was below, so I was making sure that he was coming back up. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go down there and get him, make sure he's okay.
you get
I'm in a separate area.
Yeah, he's in a totally separate area.
No,
near the...
sorry, I'm sorry, Jin.
Jin,
I was
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for Jin to come back upstairs because
Yeah.
the lava had fallen through, and I want to make sure that he's okay.
Fair enough.
before.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
He comes up. The three of you are now standing there. What would the three of you like to do?
Ship's
I've now ripped off
Ship
my
sinking.
gold
Anything?
and is
No.
filling it with coins.
We noticed.
ship sinking though. Yeah.
I will.
All three of
Point
you
that.
feel the ship kind of...
I'll point at the
And you're
the heap
hearing-
of stuff, the panels that were all collapsed, and let them know that there's something magical in there. I can sense it. Can we do like a group heave to try and get that stuff open to get to it?
So all three of you can make checks or give someone advantage. I leave that up to you.
Medi, are you strong?
got
I
a
mean, she's
15.
certainly strong enough to feed off, a child. That's pretty
Child.
strong-willed.
Yeah.
That's more constitution though. I only have a +1 in strength.
I have a +2.
Gatharn's our strong boy, isn't he?
Yep. I got a +4.
Jin with his noodle arms go. I got this, Captain.
Okay. So give me athletics with advantage. Medi, did you want to do something instead?
Is this? Hang on. So this is like, is it like a panel that we're trying to?
So imagine
Collapse.
a lot of captains' quarters have removable walls, so
Yeah.
that when there's either combat or they're doing gunnery practice, they bring those walls down. That way, the captain's quarters has access to them to that portion of the deck. And it would appear that at some point these were all put back up, but now they've all shattered, cracked, fallen inward. The double doors that would lead into the captain's quarters has fallen inward, and you can even kind of see where some of the upper beams have tilted and fallen down, almost as if like something here was either purposely damaged and destroyed, or some damage and destruction happened to it at some point.
19.
Can I
Yeah.
give my advantage by sticking the rapier in there and just pushing down to help him?
Give me a quick perception check then, as you're trying to look at what Jin's doing and kind of using. Well, we know what that face means.
6.
That's my hand.
Jed, you lean into one of the beams that you think might fulcrum and pull everything apart. And you lean into it and you shift it. And as you shift it, some of the planks fall away. Some of the fractured pieces fall away. Omni, your magic detection is still up for the most part. And you can now see a clear, 1 foot wide, 2 foot tall path. And you can see a shattered wooden box and then a small leather bag where the yellow is kind of emanating from.
Right, so right over here, Captain?
Are we able to fit through that space? You said 1 foot by what? Can
1
I
foot
reach
by
it?
2 foot. You could certainly try.
Yes, I would like to try and
Okay.
reach in.
Give
grab the bag.
me acrobatics first.
Gonna get him with advantage. I kick him in the butt and push him in through the hole.
I'll say you're with your barely being successful in moving that beam, you and Medi can see now the two beams that are kind of holding everything together. And the two of you got to lift up. So go ahead and both of you give me strength checks really quick and see if you can help Omni get kind of shimmy deeper into there. Meanwhile, you hear above you, Gatharin, as you're filling up pouches of coin.
I was gonna say, as we're waiting, as we're trying to get through, I'll yell out, "Gatharn, if you found the loot, find us each something good."
What do they normally wield as weapons? Swords?
Rapier for Omni and Medi, and
Cutlass.
Jin too, right? Oh,
Yeah,
you have the
basically.
cutlass.
All right,
Nice.
so while I'm kind of filling up my kilt with coin and gems and things that look like, valuable, I'm also keeping my eye out for something that's bread box shaped.
Okay.
Rapiers and what was the other one?
A rapier, basically. Yeah.
Cutlass.
All three rapiers.
So basically, cutlass, swords.
Okay.
Swords.
Fair enough. Give me
Swords
another.
or a bow.
Swords, short swords, rapiers, daggers.
Give me another
20
investigate.
bits.
Yeah, give me another investigation check. Medi and Jin, what'd you get for your strength checks?
Ladies
Well,
first.
What'd you get, Medi?
Late.
12. Jin, what'd you get?
Nat 1.
That one. Omni, give me a regular acrobatics as they are not doing a very good job of helping you.
One.
Can I yell back to Gatharn?
You're
Hurry
pretty.
your ass up. As I'm
Yeah.
going under, I'll be like,
Yeah,
hurry your
because-
ass up. We need you over here.
Yeah, because where you guys are below, he's slightly right above you in the quartermaster's hold that's right under the helmsman. So you guys are all kind of in the same section of the ship. And all of you can now smell smoke.
Yeah, Medi just sees Jin's arms just.
Say with that last statement, hurry your ass up. We need you over here. I would like to try and intimidate or persuade Gatharn, giving him advantage on his investigation check.
Okay. Give me a disadvantage on your acrobatics then, as you're not focused on it.
Well, I rolled a 21 for my first roll. Let's see if I get a natural 20 on the next one.
Okay.
No. So the 21 is my better roll.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a nat 20 for one of them,
Oh.
How it always goes with disadvantage rolls.
but I got a 17 with the other, and it was
Acrobatics.
acrobatics, and it's a +4, so 21.
You manage to shimmy through, even though you're not concentrated on it. You shimmy through, pull yourself over. You can hear the beams kind of cracking. Smoke is now kind of filling backwards and up into the chamber that you're kind of shimmying into. And you reach out, you grab the small leather bag, and you kind of open it to peek at it. It looks like it's a compass.
I will pocket it, and as I'm returning back through the hole, look around and just perception-wise, see
Yeah,
if
give me
there's
another-
anything else in this chamber. How big is this space that I
Not
we
very
got
big.
through?
Yeah, not very
Alright.
big. But give me a perception check. We'll see if you find anything else.
16 plus 1, 17.
17. You also see on your way out a leather satchel with 2 books in it.
Grab it.
Okay. And then you shimmy out just in time to watch things begin to burn through the upper deck. Gatharn, you find a pistol, very finely made. You find a short sword, very finely made. And you find a rapier, very finely made.
And nothing about bread box shaped or anything like that.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. And I smell smoke now.
Yeah,
'Cause you
smoke
said the room
is
that I'm in is like encased in steel.
right, but you can smell smoke now wafting in through the trapdoor above you. And all
right,
of you at the same time feel the ship list slightly towards the front of the ship. And it elevates just enough for you to feel the difference. You feel the wood creak. Just as Omni gets pulled out, all the beams kind of collapse and shift as the ship is now front down, rear up.
Now, how did it work with strength as far as how much I can carry? Is it
Well, I mean, I'll say
it
you've
two
been. I'll say
one
you've.
time?
Yeah. Well, I'll say you've been in that space long enough that between the hammer that the two-handed hammer, and then the weaponry that you found, you're loaded down with a bunch of coin and gems. You're going to be struggling to be able to move at a normal pace. You're pretty.
Well, no,
encumbered.
that's what I was getting at. Is I'll get rid of some of the gems and coin, so that I'm not over encumbered.
Give me a deck save. Give me a deck save first.
Get rid of the coin before the gems. Gems tend to
22.
be
22.
worth
You
any
watch
coin.
as a lava bomb makes its way through the trapdoor and lands not more than 5 feet away from you.
Oh, that takes care of my pubes.
Gross.
Well
But yeah,
then.
so I dodge that and go, okay, fuck. So I hoist up the makeshift bag that I made from my kilt.
Okay.
If it feels like it's gonna encumber me somewhat, I'm gonna ditch some of the coins.
You're at the edge. You feel like any more and you're going to go over the edge of encumbrance.
Oh, well then if I can handle this and freaking I tie a rope around it, hoist it around my neck like my shoulders, kind of like a freaking makeshift backpack, and start climbing back up.
Okay. Give me acrobatics as the ladder is at an angle now.
Ooh, angled.
And you can
Alright,
hear
that
the
is
coins rattling
20.
under 20. Okay, you managed to pop up. The front of the ship is slightly down. The back of the ship is slightly up. You see no sign of Jin, Medi, or Omni yet. Looking up, you can see striations of yellow and orange above you, and globules of lava are now coming down at a steady pace. Go ahead and give me another deck save.
I'm yelling out, "Hey, you guys remember Maximizer? It's happening again." 21.
21. You managed to,
Who's doing, bro?
yeah, you managed to shift and dodge as another lava bomb sets the deck on fire.
I get advantage on deck saves.
As
yeah.
Medi and Jin are helping pull me up, I'll dust myself off and thank you. Let's get topside and get the heck out of here. Let's start moving towards the staircase.
What's left of it?
What's left of it?
Yeah, it's broken and jostled. And with this angle, the three of you look to watch as the lower half of the staircase has now broken away and kind of collapsed.
Is it something that a boost we'd be able to get up to the part that's there?
Sure.
All right, I'll turn to Jin and.
But I need all
like,
three. I need all three of you to make deck saves as you look up through the hole to see lava bombs falling.
Cool.
9.
17.
Medi.
13.
Yeah, dice don't love you tonight. Luckily, DC is 14 currently at the rate that they're falling. Jin, however, one of the lava bombs splashes in your direction, and you take 8 points of fire damage as these globules of lava land on you. And as they land on you, they begin to burn into your skin. Take an additional 20 points of burning damage until you get them off of you.
Lava sucks, yo.
So I would see
Is Jin
this happen.
conscious?
But there's blistered skin and clothes are on fire that Jin is now having to take time to put out.
He's
I've run
unconscious, I
to
think.
I've run to the hold.
Okay, as you're running through, dodging, you're over at the hold. You can see the three of them down. The edge of the hold is now on. Well, the edge of the hold is now on fire because while all this was going on for you guys, small lava bombs have been dripping and drabbing off of the surface of the interior of the cavern and colliding with the deck of the ship. The very front of the ship was engulfed in fire for a moment, but then you watch as it dips slightly down into the water. Yes, Medi.
Is there water where we're standing?
Currently, no.
Okay,
But looking
I will be
down,
attempting to put Jin out.
yeah, I mean, looking down into the cargo hold, you can hear water filling up the cargo hold. Your passive would be good enough for that.
I'm going to cast create water.
Okay.
I can create up to 10 gallons of clean water within range. Water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. And
There's a
that's just
hiss
gonna be
of
like
there's
right on the stairs and above us.
Yeah, there's a hiss of steam as it comes in contact with the lava splatters. You watch as Jin is immediately doused and the fire goes off of his clothing. He's now peeling the slightly cooled globules off of his body. The three of you are staring up at Gatharn looking over. There's now wafts of smoke kind of like emanating behind Gatharn's head. But looking up, those striations are getting brighter and whiter.
I failed my first con save. Or my first death save.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to make myself a Jin backpack and try to jump up towards the stairs to get him out of here. I'm hoping my
That's what I was asking. So
climbing
did you
ability.
say the doorway was now on fire?
The edge of the hold is slightly on fire.
I put it out.
Oh, yeah, you do put it out because you cast it.
All right, then I throw down a net.
You guys watch as this net comes down. Medi, seeing that, grabs Jin.
I'm anchoring one part of it so that they can use it like a ladder.
Medi, now with no problem, with Jin on your back, you easily using your ability to make your way up on the net, and you're now on deck. Omni, however, give me acrobatics with advantage because Gatharn is helping.
He's holding on to the net now? If he's holding on to the net, I start pulling. I start pulling up.
Right as she's about to go up with Jin,
Okay.
I'll
And how long does that create water last for? Does it continue for a while, or is it just instant and that's it?
It doesn't say a time frame. It says just 10 gallons of clean water. If the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within it and extinguishes exposed flames in the area.
But
it's just an immediate thing. It's not like an ongoing continuous.
Gotcha. So puts everything out momentarily. So Omni, what'd you get for your acrobatics?
Well, before that happens,
Okay.
I would put my hand on one of the arm lava spots of Jin.
Okay.
And cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
And Jin will get back 1d8 plus 5 hit points.
So should I tell our new potential fifth that maybe she should be a cleric?
Maybe. So that's 10.
Or just let me
HP
die.
back.
I'll be the cleric. She can play DPS if she wants.
So that's 10 back for Jin.
All right, Jin, you get 10 points back. Knowing Jin, I will allow you to determine if you want your eyes to flutter open because there's a strange sensation that Medi is carrying you and has brought you safely onto the deck of the ship. Gatharn, you watch as Medi and Jin come over. Omni, you kind of used... what'd you get for your acrobatics?
Acrobatics check. Acrobatics is plus 4. 21. With advantage.
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, you use healing Jin as a way to kind of spring your step upward. All four of you are now on deck. Jin is hung over the shoulder of Medi, seems to be still unconscious.
Wait, am I backpacked like this?
Yeah, you're backpacked, I believe.
Oh no, I don't have to walk. I'm good.
As far as you can tell, Jin's still unconscious. You hear
I don't have to breathe, so
you hear a rather larger noise as the striations have gotten wider. This next lava bomb hits the front of the ship and you feel the entire ship shudder from the impact as the whole front of the ship just... And now you're watching larger exposed sections of the lava and striations crashing and coming both into the bay and into the ship. However, everybody give me perception checks really quick.
16.
Yeah. Except for Jin,
Yeah,
you are
16.
unconscious or pretending to be unconscious.
14.
How did we do
Gathar.
the ice bridge thing?
That was Jin.
Gathar
Oh,
is
Slap Jin, wake up!
as you smack Jin trying to wake him up, you look over Maddie, or you can't really look over her shoulder, but you look past her
Between
form,
their legs.
and you can see where there's big plumes of steam coming up from the bay, from where the lava is dropping into it. But now that that cold effect is dissipated, you begin to realize that the water itself is surprisingly clear. And on the very far end of the cavern that's way out in the bay, you see the kind of like telltale signs of light coming in from underneath the bay.
That way.
We gotta swim.
I run off in the direction he pointed and jump off.
You
I
hit the
already
water.
slapped Jin to wake up.
Yeah. You got a nice little goblin hand smack on your cheek there, Jin, as Gatharn smacks you and then leaps off the edge. You watch as Medi and Jin leap off the edge, but Jin's still backpack carried. As you hit the water, Medi, give me an athletics check. Let's see if you can hold on to Jin.
15.
The impact, poof, you feel his arms slip out of your hands, and Jin, you're now kind of free floating in the water. Medi, you're in the water. Gatharn, you're in the water. Omni, what are you doing?
We will jump up onto the handrail and
Okay.
look back over the ship and think how a legacy like one of Copper Joe's, like how it, even one that lasts beyond normal life years would, even it has its own ending. And I'll take a nice big, actually, hopefully I might have to roll for it because I want it to be
Well,
very
first give me a deck.
luxurious swan dive.
First, give me a deck save, because while you were
Cool.
monologuing, I rolled a 1. So,
Awesome.
yeah, give me a deck save.
So that is a 15 plus 6, 21.
21. You are sitting there contemplating this as a massive lava bomb lands not more than 20 feet from you. It just explodes through the deck. The deck comes rupturing upwards, sending you backwards into a bizarre kind of like somersault. Give me acrobatics, see if you could turn it into a swan dive.
I'm swimming
God.
towards the light.
Yeah, you're like...
11 plus 4, 15.
15. So you do a pretty good job of turning an explosion, throwing you outward. You kind of pivot and jackknife and form into a dive and enter in the water. So you're all in the water now. Gatharn has said that he is now swimming towards the light that he can see. Now that you're in the water, maybe a couple hundred feet in front of you, you can see what looks like daylight is leaking through something down below underneath the water. The water itself looks to be about 20 to 30 feet deep at this current point that you're at. It's hard to tell for sure.
I cast reverse positions with Vince's character while we're in the water situation.
Sounds dirty.
And I'm just gonna try to make sure to haul Jin up so that he doesn't. I don't know that he doesn't have to breathe. I suspect, but just in case, I'm gonna
Right.
make it to the surface.
Fair enough.
As she's about to bring me to the surface, I open up my eyes. I wink at Medi, and I burst off going that way because my swim
Whee!
speed's 40.
Okay.
Oh, bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Finn doesn't even use his arms while he swims. It's just all legs.
So all of you near the
Dolphins
surface. So are you deep underwater or near the surface? How are all of you swimming towards the light?
Deep.
Definitely down.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah,
surface.
not trying to get a glob of lava land right on top of us.
Okay. But, when lava hits water and cools, it turns into a rock.
Yeah. But it'll slow down before it hits us.
So with that, somebody help remind me, how long can you hold your breath for? I believe it's your con.
Constitution
Oh, yep. Pause a minute.
plus a minute.
Infinity.
Yeah. So it's you. Yeah. I mean, myself and Jin don't have to breathe. So there's
Correct.
that.
Breathing.
So for
the weak.
Gatharn and Omni, how
Yeah.
long can you hold your breath for?
Oh, I
Well,
can
see,
hold my
here's
breath.
the thing. Go ahead.
Oh, are you?
Dumped on? You dumped on, you absolute madman.
Well,
No, I did
no,
not.
they can decide to turn into something else. Gatharn, what are you doing?
I'm swimming on the surface. My constitution's 18, so whatever 18 plus whatever the hold.
So
my
you
breath
get
is.
5 minutes of
5
holding your
minutes.
breath. You're fine. Get down underwater.
Well, you got to go about
I also
300
have
feet
like
of swimming.
250 pounds of loot on my back.
Yeah, there's that
Yeah.
too.
You're walking across the bottom, baby, at this point.
You are Iron Man or a
Curse of the Black
zombie.
Pearl.
So, Omni, you recognize that both Jen and Medi seem to have other than the fact they have to physically swim,
Mhm.
the two of them aren't having any issues with breathing. Gatharn seems to be using his physical stature, his physical ability to do what he does. You, however, what would you like to try to do to deal with the fact that they have to go underwater?
We're going to go ahead and shift changeling physical form into that of a Triton. And,
Remembering the image of one and meeting a couple of them, you shift into
Well,
that
first
form.
base is one.
Yeah?
This particular Triton is more of a gray and silverish color. Not your, well, depending on what area they're from, more of a blue or a green, kind of matching their environment. This one is a bit more not shiny silver, but like a brushed aluminum.
Brushed aluminum.
Yeah. So it's kind of got a bit more of like that shark skin looking texture across our body. We've got the fins and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, and we're gonna actually stick with Gatharn, knowing that he can't breathe underwater, and right as we're about to get to a spot where we're gonna do a deep dive, if he's
Okay.
staying close to the surface, I'll go with him and kind of like keep a hand on him to make sure that he's going down and is holding his breath okay. Guide him.
Yeah, I'll say all of you have described a pretty good way of dealing with this. So at some point, all of you are treading water and looking down at what looks like an exposed telltale sign of a cavern underneath the water where the light is bleeding through. Your passives would be high enough. You can hear waves breaking on the other side of this cavern wall that you're kind of treading water near. It wouldn't be too obvious to expect that this might be a way out.
Then I stopped treading water and let the weight just drag me
Yeah.
down.
You guys watch as Gatharn fully submerges down to the point of the opening.
The hilt for the short sword and rapier would be visible.
Okay.
The two-handed hammer is in my hand.
Fair enough. Makes swimming very challenging.
That's really hard. How did you get that?
I'm just going down, following.
So is everybody following Gatharn down towards the lighted opening?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of you make your way down there. You can see what looks to be the entrance of a series of broken and fractured tunnels. They look quite small at first. I need the four of you to give me perception checks while you're underwater.
Natural 20, so 24.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, 15.
Okay.
Whoa.
13.
The three of you watch as Gatharn begins to swim very rapidly towards one of the larger of the fractured tunnels. You can now feel like current As Gatharn disappears, Gatharn, you're immediately kind of like sucked out in to this cavern. The rest of you can now feel the current strike you as well. I need all 4 of you to make athletic.
Righteous.
I need all 4 of you to make athletic checks, please.
Surfing the EAC, baby.
24.
24.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
What were
Jin.
we doing?
Athletics.
11.
Athletics.
Yeah, Jin, you slam your head into the wall, taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you
Great.
get sucked in by the current and you're slammed upward. Watch, well, you don't bleed, but you watch as your magical translucent inners kind of like leak out and you kind of trying to steady yourself and follow Gatharn and Medi. Omni, what'd you get?
18.
18. You managed to maintain as well. Yes, Medi?
That does not smell delicious, correct?
It absolutely smells like nothing to you.
Wonderful. Just wanted to establish that.
Smells like a walk through the graveyard.
For the next minute, you're all kicking and fighting the current, and then you're out into the main bay, and the light is crashing down. It's the sun setting off to the west. All of you kicking upwards, breaking the surface of the water.
Omni breaks the surface kind of like Little Mermaid with the hair flipping at the
All
silhouette to the sunset.
all 4 of you give me perception checks, please.
There's a better question. Has Jin seen this form before?
15.
That's between you and Omni.
16.
Okay.
Omni, have you used this form before?
Yes, you would have seen Omni turn into a Triton when doing different things out at sea that need to be done like under the ship.
Okay, so I won't stab you.
Cool.
You don't need to bleed.
What'd you get, Medi?
This is true.
16.
16. Jin, what'd you get?
13.
13. As a group, pivoting your heads, looking around, a very familiar ship is out deep into the bay. Looking to your right, you can see a familiar beach where an encampment is, and you can see a familiar crew on that beach. As it would seem that this exit point has brought you to the entire other side of the island, either through traversing through the Karn, bringing you back all the way down to this point, but somehow you've been brought right back to where the beach encampment is, where the ship is out in the bay, and waves are crashing into the side of the cliffs.
I start nudging everybody to go on the left side of so away from the crew and the ship.
Why? We've already been guaranteed like the treasures.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the captain said we can have whatever we want except for the all
Let's
that
see
they
what we
want is
have.
the
It was the
device.
magic item.
Let's see
that
what we
they
have.
were-
Let's just see what no harm, no foul. Let's see what we have.
Oh,
Yeah,
this.
Jin does make a point.
I'll pull out the leather pouch and be like, it's a compass. And
Are you doing
it's
this out in the middle of the
magical."
water? Or are you
No,
heading
I'm up onto
No,
the
no, no.
shore.
When he said he was nudging
Okay,
us across,
so-
I figured we were like coming up out on the beach.
Yeah, as you guys find like
How far away are they? They're
They're-
not right there.
No, they're not right there. They're probably a good
Okay.
1,000 feet away from you. I
Oh,
mean,
okay,
they're
so
way.
They probably don't even see us.
I'll sink into the tree line a little bit.
So the 4 of you kind of.
Is the sun at our backs?
The sun is currently at your backs as it's now almost nighttime. The sun is setting, and the 4 of you are now making your way towards the only exposed part of the cliff-like beach that's nearest you. There could be some challenges getting off of there, but all of you make your way to that area of the beach and crawling and pulling yourselves up. But the 4 of you go ahead and give me stealth with disadvantage, as it's hard to be stealthy when swimming on the surface. And
Nat 1.
that one,
Is
okay.
it because it's hard to write it? Voice?
19.
That sounds like good macaroni.
I rolled 2 17s.
Okay.
I rolled a
plus
19 and a
7,
16.
Okay. Maddie?
So 24.
No, they're natural 1.
Okay. The 4 of you haul yourself up onto a small, kind of like beached area. The cliffs kind of range upwards before it like kind of like disappears into a fractured series of peaks and a small kind of like fractured bit of mountain and cliff. The jungle foliage kind of going the other way.
I'll shift back to my normal
Okay.
half-elf demeanor.
The four
I
of you
just find
sit
it funny
there.
that Garn is quieter with his jingly jangly makeshift backpack than freaking the other two are bursting out of the water.
The four of you kind of settle onto the beach. You watch as the bag kind of crashes open as Gatharn gets it off his shoulder. Coins and gems and weapons kind of half spilling out of the bag. All of you feel a strange shudder in the ground.
Is the bag really that heavy?
And then a few seconds later,
Oh, that's
watch
not
as the
good.
cliff face begins to crack and come apart right above you as some kind of seismic activity is beginning to build underneath you. Now that's where we're going to finish tonight, and we're going to finish a little early for a couple of reasons. We're going to finish early for a couple of reasons. Now, one, we are going to do one more session of Debtors Gambit next week. However, Jen, you're up for the next one shot, correct?
Sure. Let's do it. Let's bring back the old gang.
Absolutely, I agree. And of course, Brendan will create a character for it. But you're in charge of it. So we will be meeting the 27th like normal. And then the one shot will be on July. Oh, shit. Are we taking July 4th off?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be on
July 11th.
July 11th will be the one shot. We're going to take July 4th off. We'll run reruns again and maybe do just kind of like a fun session of giveaway or something. We'll do something very festive and 4th of July.
Ooh, let's see if there's some American flag dice.
Oh, I will look. I will find some. And if there are, we
Yeah.
will give away some 4th of July flag dice. Now,
Or Aarakocra dice.
surviving Copper Joe's tomb.
Bald eagle. Yeah.
Surviving Copper Joe's tomb was a milestone. So you guys are all now level 6.
Time to take my level in cleric.
Let's go. It's like everybody's multi-classing.
Suddenly everybody's
Wait,
a
I
level
already
1
am.
cleric.
Not me. I'm a level 1 looter.
I don't know
Are
if I
we
should
rolling
take that
for
extra
HP
level
or are
in
we just
paladin or
maxing out?
sorcerer right now.
No, we are over the level 5 limit. So everybody go ahead and roll for HP. Make sure you re-roll ones.
Wait, but I don't know if I'm gonna do paladin or sorcerer. I need time.
I got 5.
Okay. Yeah,
You've
if we
got time
if we
on it.
do a giveaway for 4th of July dice, I will post it in our Discord as well as on our Twitter. So if you don't follow us, be sure to follow us on our tweeters, our Instagrams, and all those places, so we can keep you informed of our giveaways. But yeah, I like that idea. I think for the first week of July, we'll do some 4th of July, 4th of July dice giveaways. Also, starting next week, we will be doing a new giveaway channel, and I will be sharing that information with Hope. But we are going to be giving away a single random blind box miniature. The hope is to help a lot of our storytellers out there start collecting minis for their games. So we will be building that channel next, and we'll be promoting it as well. But got to be part of our Discord to be able to be part of it. So also, I am working with Viridian Dice. They are going to be giving us a promo code for the last 2 weeks of June. So I think I'm getting it tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to be giving that promo code out on all of our shows. I believe it's either a 10 or 15% discount on their resin dice sets. So we'll have some details on that coming Monday as well.
Awesome.
Now, I do have a 5th person. She was the first one to respond to me. She's going to be in my Wednesday show, The Descendants, starting. Ooh, that's going to be starting soon. That's going to be starting the 30th. That's going to be our first episode. but she's very eager. She's really fun, and it kind of keeps the balance of the table the way I like it. So I'm a little selfish in the sense it'll balance it well. She's very familiar with the rule sets. She's willing to play a character that the group needs, or if you'd allow her to build a character that she just wants to role play or want.
Let her play what she wants.
Okay. She's already in our Discord. I believe if she's not watching, I think she messaged me earlier.
You guys got all the healing we need, baby.
I believe
I got cure wounds. That's what I got.
You got lay on hands too, man.
she goes by the handle.
Lay on your hands. You don't have lay on hands? Yes, you do.
She goes by the handle Vendrina on the Discord
Vendrina.
channel. So I will invite her
That's
to
a
the cast.
feature.
I will invite her to the cast and crew where you guys can banter and take a pulse and ask her about her and all that stuff. And if you guys have good vibes and you like her, then I will talk about bringing her in for the next Friday session, which means I'll have to redo my overlay again. By the way, do you guys like the new overlay? Did you like it? Did you like it? I'll have to do that again, but that's fine because I like this group with 5. I think this group has a good dynamic with 5. So is everybody okay with adding a 5th person? If there's any concerns, now's always the good time to talk about it.
No, it's not all right.
I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to take a 2nd level in sorcerer or...
I have a concern by the way that I rolled a 1 on my health and then
You can
rerolled
roll
it,
again.
Yeah.
Reroll those.
Or you just stick
it
stick a straw in another 3-year-old child and you're good.
At level 5, you get 2 attacks as a paladin. So
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Should I get that extra attack or should I take Font of Magic?
no, you want that extra attack.
Because if I take Font of Magic, that's when I get meta magic and sorcery points and goodness.
So
Level 7.
the skill I just got was bolstering magic. I can harness my wild magic to bolster myself or a companion.
Ooh.
And as an
Nice.
action, I can touch one creature, can be yourself, and confer one of the following benefits of your choice to that creature. For 10 minutes, the creature can roll a d3 whenever making an attack roll or an ability check and add the number roll to the d20 roll. Or roll a d3, the creature regains 1 expended spell slot, the level of which equals the number rolled or lower.
That's kind
Do
of
we call that a D4? Because I don't have D3s.
It's a 6-sider, just halved.
yeah.
So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6.
Gotcha. Okay, that works too.
So I took
And
a
then once a
bump
creature
in...
receives that benefit, that creature can't receive it again until after a long rest.
Nice. So I took a bump in Warlock still. Didn't. So I got 2 class features for that. Oceanic Soul, I gain cold resistance. And then if I drag anything underwater, it understands whatever language I'm speaking. And I understand whatever language it's speaking. And then my Tentacle of the Deep.
Sexy. Let's not talk about your tentacle of the deep.
So
I'm gonna talk about it.
Shed's
It's
like, no,
kicking
let's talk
now.
about it.
It's also a Guardian Coil now. So if you're within 10 feet of my tentacle, I can, with my reaction, negate 1d8 damage to a creature, to a friend. Yeah.
I did want to
Nice.
specify that, like, when I was doing my loot and grab, if there were small little treasure boxes, that went into the loot pile too.
Were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying, as I was doing my little loot and grab, freaking, if there was like little things that could, like little boxes, that would have gone into the pile too.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I had already been looking for something that was like bread box sized.
I don't know what a bread box is.
Neither do I. I just knew it was about the size of a loaf of bread.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have bread in my house. We have like a cup noodle drawer. We have a bread drawer, so we don't really eat bread.
Jason.
Yes.
When you said that I got a leather satchel with books in it, did you specify 2 books or did you?
Yep.
You did say 2 books. Okay,
2
I was
books.
just
Yep.
making sure.
For the one shot, everybody level up their PCs to 12, please. Yeah.
I will.
What about gear and equipment? Since I'm going to be creating a completely new character.
See, here's the. Yeah, you can make whoever you want.
I mean,
Because I was gonna say, like, for you,
No.
you need to have a connection with Wolfric, and then we'll see.
well, yeah, but you remember with Wolfric's relationship with the church at that one point, you can make
No.
any connection you want, really. You could say he was like one of your like folks that goes out and finds information for you and brings it back to the church, or you know.
Good Tharn.
So you can have one blue item, I guess.
What kind of
Okay.
character were you thinking? Because there's a
You're such a
particular
dick.
NPC from my character's backstory that we never.
Oh
got.
no, I have something
Ooh.
for.
Oh,
I have
no,
something
he's
in
got-
mind for Umbra.
Yeah, Umbra. Yeah, I bet you anything Jin's gonna make, or that Vince is gonna make Umbra the big bad, guaranteed.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
I was
have
just
Shannon's backstory, so if everybody can send me yours, and I'll try to see if I can give ourselves a nice epilogue.
Do we have a Discord channel for that one too?
We'll just use this
do
one.
the one shot.
Yeah, we'll just do it in this
Debtors
one.
Gander.
Are we
Alright, so level
going
12 character.
to
Alright.
Finish the stream at any point?
No, they're just gonna see
No.
us.
It's gonna
bicker,
be like,
yeah.
"Fred,
Like if you guys
okay."
are still
Hi
hanging
guys,
around, that's
we're just gonna be
cool.
shooting the shit now.
Yeah, figuring out my one shot that I've never
You know,
DM'd on the
that's
stream
fine.
before.
Checking.
I mean, this is kind of like that extra bonus content that they
Yeah, it's
should
behind the
be
scenes.
like behind
BTS.
the
This is Patreon
the
exclusive, though,
paywall.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
this is
just
usually
giving them a
Patreon
sneak
content,
peek.
by the way.
Sneak peek.
You're
Mhm.
welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure we're the only ones that are watching our stream right now, but it's okay.
it's fine. Anybody pops in, we BSing about a one shot that I'm gonna run
From a previous campaign that most
from a
of us were
previous
in.
campaign. So season 2 of that campaign is gonna be rendered null. It's gonna pick up from a year
Oh,
from
good.
when
Okay,
we saved the temple.
gotcha. Perfect. I love that idea.
Yeah, some of us
Shannon
just have to,
froze in fear. Look at that face of fear.
You look confused, Ches. Like, so season 2 never happened. We never went on a boat.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no, I was just trying
we're
to think
gonna
about
chat
that.
about our one shot that we're gonna do in 2 weeks, but we'll be back here Sunday night, Debtors Gambit. We'll be introducing a new player. We will be finding out the items that they found. We will be exploding an island, and the nonsense and shenanigans continues. All right, folks. Thank you.
Cookie.
Be
She
safe.
doesn't know we made it out yet.
Happy. Well, she's gonna get blown up on the island. Happy
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
No!
Happy Father's Day to the dad. See y'all. Bye.
Bye,
Play
guys.
some games.
Bye.